Hey guys, I'm Silwolf, and I thought I'd do a little observation video on DJ Furby because I felt it was interesting, the things I've noticed about DJ Furby, also things the community have been pointing out as well. So the initial reaction to DJ Furby has been overall quite positive. A lot of people are talking about the fact that it's a nod to the long Furby. A lot of people are also talking about Furby's reference to Shelby, the Furby Boom and the Furby Connect. In the Furby flashback song, the DJ Furby does reference the Boom and Connect, which is pretty cool. Other people have also said that Furby does do like an impersonation of the 90s Furby voice. I haven't actually had a chance to listen to the song again, but that's really cool if that's the case. I like that. I like that Hasbro is like paying attention to the fans. I mean, the Furby account on TikTok, their official one, follows me on TikTok, and have posted a few of my videos, and they also post other people's content as well occasionally. And it's nice that they're sort of like listening to the fans and looking at the community, because I think with market research, you've got to pay attention to your target audience. And yes, kids are the target audience of this, but also the people who grew up with Furby originally, they're also the target audience, which means parents are too. A few negative things. I've only seen like 2 negative things really with the DJ Furby, and that is the beak is not in sync. It's not just my one, by the way, all of them, the beak is not in sync. And they could have done that better. They could have just made it in sync. I don't know whether it was a little bit too complex because this Furby says a lot more things, but I don't think so, because let's face it, Furby Connect, for example, said a lot of things, and Furbies have always had a moving beak. I think that if they'd have done the 2023 Furby with a moving beak, then that was people's main issue with it, apart from the bright colours. But I understand the bright colours because ultimately this is aimed at children, so you're going to get bright colours. I know that some people don't like rainbows and purples and oranges and tie-dye and all of that, but yeah, you're going to get all of that because it's a kid's toy. At the end of the day, it's not really aimed at adults. So apart from the colour thing, the moving beak with the 2023 Furby was the issue, so people have been really happy to see it back. But there have been a few things of people saying, oh well, you know, the opening and closing beak is not in sync. Someone said about the Furby's feet, why couldn't they be plastic like the Furby 2023? But I think it's nice that they have made them fabric, and also they have sensors in them, so you can't really make them plastic because it wouldn't work. You couldn't press them. They have to be fabric, unless you made the sensor like a more advanced touch sensor, which is like in the plastic, but you're looking at more expense. So having a little press button sensor in the feet is much better for keeping the price down. I say down, this is about £10 more than the 2023 Furby, but then it does more, and it's also bigger. There's more material there as well, so I can see why they charge what they do. The ears were the one other complaint that I've seen. A few people said, oh, they're a little bit plasticky and stuff, and they are. If you look at them, they are kind of, you know, it's just this sort of pink here, and the fur kind of, you know, textured, and it's on the back as well. And yeah, they are fairly plasticky. I suppose that was made up for with the 2023 Furby, with the fact it had fibre optics in it. Someone else said, why didn't they do fibre optics in the ears as well? And again, you're looking at a lot of wiring and extra stuff, and it's expense. It boils down to, you want to do something that's cool and different, but you don't want to make it over technological, I think, because it's just a lot more to do. And if there's a lot more to do and there's a lot more stuff in it, there's a lot more that can go wrong as well. I've never had a Furby fail, except for my cotton candy Furby just decided one day it wouldn't turn back on again. And that's the only Furby I've actually had fail of the new ones. So, yeah. Again, more stuff inside it, there's more stuff that can go wrong. So those are the complaints people have had. They're not very many. You know, the beak not being in sync, I don't think, a lot of children may not notice that because they're having too much fun, maybe, I don't know. Another nice thing that I found is when you put Furby on the side, because I didn't know how to do the sea otter pose, and I do apologise, the ears don't move when Furby's on its side. And someone said, oh, how come the ears aren't moving? And I said, well, it's because they might get caught on something or they might get jammed. So the fact that when you put it on its side, it appears that the ears don't move. That may be intentional, it may not be, I don't know. But I think that's a good idea, because not everyone's going to do the sea otter pose. They might just lie it on its side and then press the buttons. So I think that that's probably quite a good idea if the ears don't move when you do that, because it's against the floor or whatever. So the positives for this one, this is kind of more of a pros and cons than a first observation video, isn't it? I'm just sort of like putting all into one video the feedback that I've seen so far from the community. I don't know if Hasbro watches any of my videos, but this is just one person's video of what they have discovered from the Furby community in general, because a lot of people comment on my videos, and you know, I'm on a lot of things to do with Furby. But yeah, generally it's been really good. People have been like, oh wow, long Furby, you know. So those who know and those who are aware of long Furby and everything, brilliant. They've put their own spin on this Furby, which I like. They've done it more kind of like a caterpillar. So our long Furbies, we know, you get a Furby plush and you stick it on top of a long body, ta-da, long Furby. And you've also got the odd bodies and things like that if you want to go a bit more obscure. But the nice thing about this Furby as well is, and I will show you this now because I didn't realise this at first, and of course I didn't want to force anything on it in case I broke it, but you can actually, if I put it on its side here, on its back I mean, it's got a hinge, so you can do that, and that's the sea otter pose. See, it's just like one of those sea otters when they've got their little mussel shell or whatever on their tummy and they're floating on their back in the water. That's that. And what it's called in the manual that comes with the Furby, I say manual, instructions, is a space otter, because it's kind of, you know, like a space otter. And this looks more like a long Furby, but also I can see what they've done there, and it's quite clever, because you can just have the Furby lying on its back and you've got the 4 lights that come up on the belly, but you've also got this one here, and so it goes in a straight line down there, which I think is pretty cool. I like that. And it also makes it easier than just lying on its side and kind of, you know, doing what I did where I showed you all the different games that you can get on it. So yeah, I like that idea. That's good. And it's also kind of cute because you can just kind of put it on the sofa or whatever and have it relaxing. Oh, like that. That's a very, very weird perspective, but you can see what I mean. You can just have it relaxing on the sofa or in your arms or whatever, or cradle it in your arms if you want, you know, a cuddly plush or whatever. And that's kind of, it works, you know. That's a nice little idea, and I was not aware. So it says in the instructions, pose it like a space otter, and I'm like, but I didn't know that there was a joint behind Furby, and like I said, I didn't want to force it. So for any of you who have been the same as me and are kind of like a bit confused, that's how you do it. So you just do that, and you've got Furby back again as a sort of caterpillar, or a dachshund Furby, as one of my viewers said. They're one of my favourite dogs. So there you go, a little sausage dog Furby. It's very hard to pose Furby in such a way on the table in front of the camera that actually gets the whole of the body somehow in. And I keep on bending the body in the same way that it was bent, like when it was in the box. And I'm trying to kind of straighten it out and press the stuffing and stuff so it doesn't have a constant kink in that part of its body, but it's not working because I have to put it on the table, and the table is the wrong way round for this. So there you go, you can see its body behind it. So yeah, my first initial observations are really, apart from sort of, you know, what I've said with people pointing stuff out, which is great. I love hearing other people's opinions, and they've spotted stuff that I haven't. Yeah, it's fun. I like how when it's just like in sort of regular mode, it suggests things. So it'll suggest, oh hey, do you want to learn Furbish? There's another game, if you press its feet too much, it's like, oh, do you want to play a game? You've got to say this without laughing. And I can't get the hang of that one, because the thing that it says just seems like it doesn't make sense. And then it's like, oh no, say it again, try again. And then it just starts laughing, and I'm like, okay. it's sound sensitive. It's not word sensitive, but it's sound sensitive. So I think I demonstrated in one of the games, I can't remember now exactly what it was, but you can say things to it and it recognises that you've said something. But I don't think that it's sensitive to words. So Hey Furby won't work on it, because I think it was my friend Jude said that it doesn't have the Hey Furby thing, which is kind of sad because it takes one element away from the sort of care aspect. Because you can feed the Furby, but it doesn't have a head sensor anymore. It's really more like a gaming thing. The feeding thing is the only real care aspect on it, I think. I did like the fortune teller thing. I think that was the one where you got to sort of like stroke its belly for the answer. That was cool. And I like how sensitive the sensors are in the belly. I thought you'd have to press them hard. I thought it would have like clicky sensors like in the feet, but no. They are quite sensitive little sensors, so you don't have to literally prod the belly, because I found that with a lot of things that have a sensor inside them, you end up getting like a dent where you've constantly been pressing it, and it kind of ruins the fur a little bit. So from that aspect, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, so those are my sort of first initial things. I think the games are fun. I think the idea of unlocking games is also fun. I like that they've taken the 2023 Furby, certain things that it does, and yes, they've used it in this one, but they've also built on it as well. So, like, the calm relaxation mode, where you can listen to calming noises and stuff. Now they've got, like, sound of little birds and trickling streams and things like that. They've got a few more of those. And I like that, you know, they've sort of built on the songs that it sings. You know, I've unlocked all of the songs on my one now and things like that, and there's lots to do, so there's a game for every occasion, really. That's really good. I like that. It's got a lot to do. As I've said before, it retails at $69.99. I don't know how much it will be in America, but normally if it's $69.99 over here, it's $69.99 over there. My dad was saying the other day, he said, well, American money, you know, is like, if you go over to America, you would expect it to be like cheaper than over here, but it's the same. So they pay $69.99 over there, which in UK pounds is probably about £50. But we have to pay $69.99 over here as well. And he said, surely it would be less over here. And I'm like, I just don't understand, because when I've gone and travelled over to America, I've bought stuff over there, and you've got to pay like taxes on top of it and stuff. So it's just like, it's just as expensive buying stuff over there. I was going to buy an iPod over there years ago when I visited a friend in America, and I ended up just buying it over here. So there isn't really much price difference, and after you've had it shipped over, even if it was cheaper in America and things like that, it would still be just as expensive as buying it over here. So, you know, is the price tag for this sensible? Is it worth it? Well, £70 is a lot to pay for a toy, really. I don't know, but you can probably get it in a sale if you think that £70 is too much. I think it is a little on the steep side, but if you think it's too much, just wait for it to come in a sale. A lot of people have come up to me and said, oh yeah, I'll wait for them to come on eBay or whatever. There's like Furby 2023s now, and I know it's a couple of years later, but they're selling them in thrift stores for like $3 or $4. Or you can go on like a secondhand site online and buy them cheap. So just wait for it to come down in price. If you don't mind buying a secondhand one that's in good condition, you know, patience is a virtue, as they say. Anyway, I've rambled enough about this. These are just my first observations, and also observations from the community as well about the DJ Furby. I think overall, yeah, it's good. People are excited. People are happy about it. And I think that it's probably going to be, it's kind of like the same time this year as 2023 Furby was released in 2023. So I think it will probably be quite a seller over Christmas as well. So we shall see. We shall see how it goes. But at the moment, people are very excited. That's the general consensus that I've kind of discovered. Anyway, if you want to see more of DJ Furby, you can click the boxes that come up below. If you enjoy what I do, you can send me a tip over on Ko-fi. It's all appreciated. And the link for that is in the description. So that's all for now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep being awesome. This is Silverwolf signing off.